Thank you for coming. I'll check later to see if anybody's here. One minute oh eight right now. Oh wait, 1 minute 25 seconds so everything records. Welcome to Victory Yay. Let's go wait 1 minute 25 seconds. Okay, so 1 minute 25 seconds. Welcome to Victory Yay. Welcome to my live stream. Today, the Lakers won the Western Conference Finals. The Lakers won, so the Lakers are now in the NBA Finals. And this is my Lakers lineup, and I'm playing against Facebook friends. I haven't played against my Facebook friends in a long time. So I have Dion Waiters at point guard. Dion Waiters a shooting guard. Quinn Cook at point guard. LeBron James is small forward. Markieff Morris at power forward. Anthony Davis is center. Laker jerseys and Staples Center court. Thank you for coming, and I'm going to check to see who came. I'm going to first play against Facebook friends. I haven't played against them in a long time. First opponent. My first opponent has 109 LeBron James, 109 Kawhi Leonard, and Giannis Antetokounmpo court. So thank you for coming. I'm going to check to see the message. Thank you. So yeah, Chicago Bulls jerseys, Miami Heat core. I have Laker jerseys, the gold jerseys. Okay, I'm going to check to see who came. Now, the Lakers won tonight against the Denver Nuggets, and no surprise there. I expected them to win. I think everybody expected them to win that series. Magic Johnson, Laker great. Magic Johnson makes the layup shot. Metro Elevators, hello, thank you for coming. How are you? I'm good. How are you doing today? Alpha Band Gaming sub, hello, thank you for coming. How are you doing today? Right now in California it's 10:56 p.m. So nighttime, but not that late. My opponent Tim Duncan scores. Tim Duncan. So at 35 years old, LeBron James leads the Lakers to the NBA Finals once again, as he always does for many teams now. So who is he going to win the NBA Finals, and what team are they going to play against? Will it be the Boston Celtics or will it be the Miami Heat? Right now, at this time, it still looks like it's going to be Miami Heat. And Jimmy Butler and Tyler Hero. But that team, full of underdogs, like Jimmy Butler, people that nobody really believes in. And then Tyler Hero, a rookie. So the Lakers, of course, are full of veteran players. And they should be expected to win. Now, maybe the Miami Heat might surprise everybody and defeat the Lakers. And then that'll be a good storyline if they could do that. But it'll be a tough matchup for them. Very tough. Tim Duncan with the ball. So last year, Lakers, they had Lonzo Ball, they had Brandon Ingram, a lot of young players. And then Kyle Kuzma still there. And they couldn't even make the playoffs. But then they traded for Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis wanted to come play for the Lakers. And now, in one season, they're in the playoffs. So, and of course, the media attention is going to be on LeBron James. Of course, he's the face of the NBA. Also, in my opinion, this is the Lakers and LeBron James' easiest path to championship. Nobody really challenging them at all, really. So, probably the most easiest path that LeBron James has ever faced. So, hopefully, it'll be a good series. I'm from LA. I'm from Los Angeles area, so most people here are Laker fans. I'm more of a Clipper fan, but I like the Lakers too, you know. I like underdog teams. So I have Laker jerseys, and my opponent has Laker jerseys. The EA gave to us these black Laker jerseys, a little bit gold on the side. They were given to us when Kobe Bryant passed away in early 2000. Now, the Lakers have a inspirational storyline that they have, of course, that they're playing for Kobe Bryant. And on their jerseys, they have, I think, KB or KB24, the initials and the number of Kobe Bryant. So if the Lakers win, they have us something to play for, an inspirational storyline, which is they're playing for Kobe Bryant. So essentially, everybody is rooting for them, the Lakers. Whereas the Miami Heat, if they win it, or the Boston Celtics now, it's kind of random. Nobody really cares if the Miami Heat or the Boston Celtics win the NBA Finals. Nobody really cares, you know? Thank you for coming. I appreciate the support. Now, Denver Nuggets, they're a small market team, so hats off to them. They had an incredible season. Came back in two series, once against Utah Jazz, the second time against the Clippers. They actually came back down 3-1. So nobody expected the Denver Nuggets to defeat the LA Clippers and Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, but they were able to do that. So they have a very nice young team, and they have a lot to look forward in the future. But you know, small market teams, it's very hard for them to win a championship, and they can make the playoffs a lot, but it's very hard for them to win a championship. A lot of times, their stars end up leaving, the big stars. So either signing with a large market team like the LA Lakers, or they get demanded trade to a team like the LA Lakers, which Anthony Davis did last season. I say Boston's going to make it next year. Boston, you think Boston's going to... Thank you for coming, DTW the Baller. So you think Boston's going to lose this time? The Miami Heat will make it. And next year, the Boston Celtics will make it. That's certainly possible. My opponent has a Tyler Hero, but a 103 Tyler Hero. I've watched the NBA for a long time, and in my opinion, I feel sorry for the small market teams, and I do not think the Denver Nuggets will ever win a championship. It doesn't matter how talented Jamal Murray is or Nikola Jokic. I do not think that team will ever win the championship. Now, they'll make the playoffs a lot, and they'll play really well, but they will never win the championship. What's probably going to happen is that eventually Jamal Murray, Nikola Jokic, they'll break up, and then they will either sign with a team like the Lakers or the Boston Celtics, a large market team, Golden State Warriors, or something like that. So I think eventually Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray, they won't be able to win, and they'll eventually sign when they're in their prime. They're still young. They'll eventually sign with the Lakers or a team like the Lakers That's kind of how the NBA has always been. And similar to Utah Jazz, small market team. Donovan Mitchell is a very good player. Portland Trailblazer, Damian Lillard, CJ McCollum, but they're never going to win the championship on their teams. They're small market teams. It's pretty much impossible. Unfortunately, that's how the NBA is. Unfortunately, it's depressing, but that's kind of how it is. Every time the Lakers go to the championship, the Celtics go next year. Yeah, it's an interesting point. And the Celtics team, they're a very talented young team, so eventually they might make it to the NBA Finals as well. The Celtics, but we will see. A lot of stuff changes. Now, if Golden State, they have the number 2 overall pick, and if they could get Giannis with that number 2 overall pick, next year they will be the favorites. But they're in the West, so they have to play against the Lakers. But right now, I do not expect the Lakers to lose. I do not expect them to lose in the championship because they have LeBron James. If they did not have LeBron, then maybe they will lose. Actually, if they just had Anthony Davis and everybody else on the Lakers, they probably wouldn't even make the playoffs. So we will see if the Lakers. I mean, it's kind of predictable. Lakers are probably going to win. And we'll just see. Let's see if it's competitive. Right now, there's always underdog teams like the Detroit Pistons in 2004, and like the Dallas Mavericks in like 2011 against the Miami Heat. In 2004, the Pistons against the Lakers. There's always these underdog teams, but that's just super rare that you'll ever see that. That's unfortunate. And the thing is that Giannis, if he stays in Milwaukee, he'll never win the championship either. I do not think he'll ever win the championship. So he's going to either end up in Golden State or some other team. NBA gameplay. Thank you for coming. You got Hassan Whiteside today. Awesome job. Yeah, I got Hassan Whiteside a couple days ago. Good luck on getting Lu Dort. Now, and for this promo, right now I'm not on that account, my main account. I'm finished with the showdown. I actually finished it all. So I don't know what to do because right now if I play showdown, I'll try to get Lu Dort. But if I play showdown, it doesn't help in the promo anymore. So I'm just gonna play that event. Whatever, 2 days left. So I'm just gonna play it like 50 stamina instead of playing that game. But the Celtics aren't going to win with Jason Tatum. That's probably true. But Jason Tatum is their best player basically right now, right? He is the all-star there, so if they can't win with Jason Tatum, then that's tough, Maybe they'll use Jaylen Brown more or something like that. Anyways, Kemba, he's getting older as well. Kemba's getting older. How old is Kemba Walker? I'll look it up. Kemba Walker kind of wasted his good years with the Hornets. So Kemba, he's 30 years old. He's getting older, though. I just autoplay season games. They get 800 points per game. Awesome. Yeah, that is a good idea. Because initially, for this promo, usually the other promos are different, but for this promo, I think it was called the conference finals promo. At first, you could play season, and you could autoplay it. But also, you have to win a certain amount, and then you could get the tokens to get the 109 overalls. And it interconnects with everything. and then you go showdown. Showdown takes a long time. You have to win the quarter, and then eventually you get the tokens. But after that, it seems like there's no point in playing showdown or season. So if I really want the loot door, I still have to play. Actually, the best way to get loot door for me right now is to play arena, which I don't want to play too much arena because that's live and you could lose. And then or I go showdown, but showdown right now, if I play it, it's kind of useless to me because I still want the tokens. I have 107 overall, Jason Tatum, my second master, and then the other token for the 2 days left. Instead of just playing showdown, I'm just going to like play that. I forgot how much stamina it cost, but they're the live event for that promo. Yeah, I'm tired also with the. So it's probably gonna. I wonder if I could still get loot door eventually, but new promo is gonna come up in 2 days and everything. Okay, let's play another game. And I also thought about maybe I shouldn't even play this promo anymore. I should just play against do the World Tour promo, but it is tiring to do. So okay, Phoenix Suns Court. So 800 live points. Yes, 800 live points. My opponent has Elf players, Phoenix Suns team. So NBA game player DTW the baller. Who do you think is to win the NBA Finals? The Lakers or either the Miami Heat or Boston Celtics? Who do you think is gonna win? I already said before many times. I think it's kind of predictable. I think it's the Lakers. But do you think let's say Miami Heat? Do you think they can upset the Lakers? It's really hard to pick against the Lakers though. Finals MVP will probably be LeBron James. It could be Anthony Davis if he plays well, but it's, it's always it's probably gonna be LeBron James. So if LeBron James, he's 35 years old, and LeBron James, he's going to decline one day because he's human. As Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan eventually decline, there will come a day that he declines. But for him, he's like extra special. So his body, so we don't know when that is, but he'll decline one day. So if he wins another championship, LeBron James will have 4 NBA championships, and he'll have 4 NBA Finals MVP. But Michael Jordan still has 6, right? And Kobe still has 5, so he has to win again. The truth is, he still has to win more. I personally don't think LeBron James will ever be seen as better than Michael Jordan because, in my opinion, he's played on too many different teams. And he's also played with too many superstars like Dwayne Wade, like Anthony Davis, and Chris Bosh. He's played with too many of those players. And Michael Jordan had one team and was loyal to one Chicago Bulls team. And Scottie Pippen, Dennis Rodman, which is also superstars, but I think Michael Jordan's story is just looks better, you know. There's too many different teams that LeBron James has been on. So in my opinion, I do not think in terms of GOAT conversation, I do not think LeBron will ever be better than Michael Jordan. But if you look at longevity of LeBron's career and how many points he scored, and the fact is, Michael Jordan retired like 3 times, and LeBron James has played in the NBA since 2003. So LeBron James, I think right now, I'm not sure if he's the third most points scored in the NBA history, behind Kareem and Karl Malone. But I think he already is that. But I'll look it up again. I count some stats in this rack should get a loot door. I think I'll go to game 6 or 7, and LeBron's probably gonna win. Yes, I agree. The Lakers will probably win. And good luck on getting Lou Dort. Good luck. I'm also trying to get him, but I'm tired right now. LeBron won't be a GOAT because a lot of people think, oh, okay. Kobe should have won their championship if he wasn't out for 2 straight seasons with that shoulder injury. Yeah, if Kobe wasn't injured, maybe he could have won. Maybe. And the last team, that his last good team when he got injured at the end, but when he was healthy, it was with Dwight Howard. Steve Nash was kind of old and getting ready to retire, and Pau Gasol was kind of declining. So that was his last good team. And then the other 3 seasons were just injury seasons. Jason Kidd with the ball. So we're in Madison Square Garden, MSG, New York Knicks court, and I have Laker jerseys. Karl Malone's leader for all-time scoring. Yeah, MJ was a good three-point shooter. But MJ and LeBron played in different eras. MJ played when they were doing more layups and dunks instead of shooting 65 threes a game. Yes, they did play in different eras of basketball. And in fact, LeBron James, when he came to the NBA, they did not shoot as many threes either. And eventually, around 2015, when Golden State Warriors team Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, when that team was created, the Splash Brothers, that's when the NBA started shooting a lot of threes. Even when Kobe played, they did not shoot as many threes, you know. So, because LeBron, he's so old, he's played in really different eras of basketball. In 2003, they didn't shoot that many threes. I would say LeBron James, longevity wise, he's better than Michael Jordan. But then, like, LeBron, he's been on multiple teams. And, anyways, if LeBron doesn't win 6 championships, I do not think you can say LeBron's better than Michael Jordan. But you have a lot of LeBron James fans as well, you know. They'll say that he's better. But also, there's difference in ages of fans that say that, you know, the people that are older have seen Michael Jordan play. And people younger kids have never seen Michael Jordan play. And they've only seen LeBron James play. And when LeBron James retires, there will be another player that the media will talk about and overhype. And then there'll be another player they will say is a GOAT and everything that. So that's kind of how it is, you know. There'll always be some player that people will talk about. Thanks for being my 6 sub. I just hit 50 a couple hours ago. Congratulations, NBA gameplay. No problem. Congratulations to you. I'm happy to hear that. Michael Jordan was advanced for his time. Yes, he was a great player. Definitely one of the greatest. He retired 3 times. Yeah, but there's a difference. There wasn't as good perimeter defenders or three-point shooters, only a couple. The stats just kind of ruined it, but remember, most of the bad stats were from the Wizard days, after he unretired. He retired 3 times. Hello, Michael Jordan. How are you today? Thank you for coming. Players were in focus, okay, being flashy, they were trying to win at all costs. Yes, in the 90s and stuff, they were always about winning, and there were a lot of trash talking. And then when LeBron James, his era of basketball is more like friendly, as he's very good friends with Dwayne Wade. There's a little bit less less competitiveness, but they're more like friends, and they're also smarter in the sense that they're more businessmen. So like the NBA players, like LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, they care about their brand and they care about making money in their business. They don't really care. I don't even think they care that much about basketball. They're just kind of using basketball to make money, to increase their brand. But then Michael Jordan and them, they were, in my opinion, they cared more about basketball. Just the different attitudes back then. Yeah, basically they weren't Westbrooks. West was a stat player and not a winning player. In the 90s and 80s was the best basketball time. Westbrook is only about stats. Yeah, I agree that the 90s and 80s and 90s were probably, especially the 90s, I would say, is probably the golden age of basketball. I believe that's when basketball is at its most popular as a sport as well. The 90s. Because a long time in America, before basketball, um, I think basketball kind of started getting really popular around like the 80s when Magic Johnson and Larry Bird played. And then it got really popular in the 90s when Michael Jordan played. But back then, before the 80s, basketball, nobody really cared about basketball in America. Baseball is the number one sport back then. So that's America's national pastime from like the 1880s, 1890s to like, I would say probably, it's still very popular too, baseball. But it's probably the most popular sport up until maybe, I would say the 80s, 1980s, 1990s. And now baseball today, it's kind of like a old-fashioned kind of sport. Not many African Americans play that sport. A lot of white people play that sport. That's just kind of how baseball is. And then there's other people from other countries, Dominican Republic and Venezuela, and things like they play baseball. Baseball is not really a global sport either. It's like certain countries, like Dominican Republic, they play baseball, but in, like around the world, most people play football, which in America we call soccer. Anyways, that's just random talk about sports. Westbrook is on balance. It's fortunate for me, a Thunder fan. Westbrook is trying to win, but he needs to know how to pass. When to pass and not passing for assists, passing for sharing. For real. He's short of like my career player. Yeah, and yeah, lots of criticism of Russell Westbrook. Although Westbrook, his attitude for the game is kind of like a 90s player. Patrick Beverly of the Clippers, he's kind of like a 90s player. His trash talking attitude, that's kind of like a 90s player. Why do you guys think is the most physical sport? I think it's basketball because you're pretty much touching against someone at all times, especially if you're a center. Most physical sport, I'll still have to say it's American football, NFL, and stuff like that because they're actually tackling each other and they're just like they're actually tackling each other. So that's why NFL there's not many games. They play every Sunday because you get hurt a lot, you know. And they play with like injuries sometimes. Sometimes they don't even report their injuries; they just play it. Like one player, I heard that he had a broken like arm, and he's still playing. He's pretending that he doesn't want to show the doctors because he's still playing. And they have concussions, stuff like that. So I'll still say football. But basketball is a very physical sport. Even though that there's a lot of fouls and you technically can't touch like when a person's shooting, you can't touch their hand and stuff like that. But it's a very physical sport too, and there's a lot of injuries. But I also think because the way basketball players, their bodies are shaped, they're very long and tall and skinny. And they're very long, tall, and skinny. So when they fall down or something, when they hit each other, or sometimes they just fall awkwardly. Nobody's even touching them. They get injured a lot. So I don't know. Maybe it's because their bodies are shaped in that way that they're just very long, tall, and skinny. Basketball players get injured a lot. Angel records. Hello, thank you for coming. Hello, thank you for coming. The most physical sport is either rugby or basketball. Rugby is very brutal. Oh yeah, I forgot about rugby. NFL is basically rugby for babies. I meant physical as in someone making contact with you, not how hard. And rugby, yes, is also a very physical sport. In America, rugby is not very popular. But I believe it's just like NFL football, except without the gear and like the padding and stuff like that. So I don't know why how people play that sport, but that's why it is a very physical sport as well. Okay, see with a Chris Paul 3-point shot. Rugby, I'm good. How are you doing today? Still live streaming every day. Rugby isn't as dangerous as football because it's a strict sport. No, I did not know that. I didn't know. I don't really watch rugby much because honestly, it's not on TV as much. Um, I think there are certain channels it might be on, like cable channels, but I don't watch it as much. Now, football, like soccer, is sometimes in Saturdays and like really early in the morning. Where usually there's nothing on TV. On NBC, they have some soccer, but it's pretty random, you know. Now, baseball is not as physical as basketball and football, but they have injuries as well. And then they have like the pitchers. They have a lot of arm injuries and injuries. I think one pitcher he got like carpal tunnel, which is like he used his hand too much. I think he has arthritis on his hands, like the bones of his fingers, stuff like that. Because they keep practicing their pitching, throwing the ball and stuff like that. So that does happen. Have you seen rugby injuries? Oh, really? I did not know that. I should look it up. Rugby injuries. I never seen that before. DJ Augustine with the ball. My opponent has Laker jerseys. I have Laker jerseys. Laker white jerseys. My opponent has and Laker white jerseys. Only on Sundays in Staples Center do the Lakers wear the white jerseys, and it's for religious reasons because Christianity, right? Most Americans are Christian on Sundays. Um, Lakers wear white, and that's the only team that does that. Other teams they don't wear. They wear white usually in their home court. Now that Nike though, they make jerseys, so they just random jerseys now. You can wear different colored jerseys every night, but back then at least, the Lakers on Sundays they only wear white jerseys. But most of the time, their home court right now, Staples Center is in the game. They wear those gold jerseys that I have. There's something to note. Call it before it happens. Rugby isn't as dangerous because they protect their players like a target calling. Yeah, rugby, I don't know much about it, but I don't know much about the sport. But it looks like they play without gear, you know. My opponent has a Nikola Vucevic, the Orlando Magic, Halloween. So today in the sets, they have 110 Luka Doncic, and a lot of people got it. I didn't want to do that. I like to keep my cards. Is he gonna? Why is he standing there? And then there's other like sets like a 109 overall. You get like a Yao Ming, I think a Derek Fisher or something like that. And I believe they're probably non-auctionable. And there was also some other special abilities, something type of card as well that came out. All right, Quinn Cook. He's bald here, but in real life he has some hair. Nice pass to Anthony Davis. It goes in. A nice little shot. Yeah, but sometimes it doesn't stop it from happening, and in Jew it's brutal. Wait a minute, we forgot one thing. I mean, hockey. What? The refs literally watch fights happen. Yeah, hockey is also a pretty physical sport. Yeah, they're always fighting every time I see them. Yeah, it is pretty physical. A lot of hockey players, they don't have it. They lose their teeth. So yeah, hockey is a very popular sport in Canada. That's their number one sport. But it's really cold in Canada, and they have ice and stuff like that. In America, even though there's NHL teams like in LA, there's LA Kings and stuff like that. I would say that hockey is not that popular in America, but it might be popular in like northern states like Minnesota and stuff like that. I know New York is popular, sort of. New York Rangers, something like that. And the NHL, I believe they have a lot of Canadian teams. But I actually think that America, because we're a larger country, we have more NHL teams than Canada. But anyways, a lot of Canadians also come to play for the American NHL teams, like the Anaheim Ducks, used to be the Mighty Ducks, and then teams like that. LA Kings. So a lot of Canadians do um, play for the American teams as well. I know EA, they also make NHL hockey, whatever it's called, you know. They also make games for that. I don't know if they've made one recently, but they used to make them. I don't think there's a mobile game, but they have it for their main games. They used to have NHL. So like Madden, FIFA, NBA Live, they used to make NHL hockey or whatever. And they sometimes make baseball, MLB baseball video games. EA makes them, but I don't think they make them all the time. Sometimes they don't make them. For real, I watch hockey when it happens. EA's games are lit. Focus on Madden. Did you focus on Madden? I think because Madden is like their most popular game. And they make a lot of money from Madden. There's no 2K Madden, right? 2K only makes NBA games, so basketball games. So EA focuses a lot on Madden. Also, EA they actually they're in the sports. I think their number one game is actually FIFA because football is the most popular sport in the entire world, and a lot of European countries like Spain, France, England, they love playing football. So I actually think FIFA is their most popular game. I read their actual most popular game that EA makes is actually The Sims. And so The Sims, very popular among girls. I believe that game is actually their most popular and the highest selling game that they have, The Sims. I know a lot of girls that play Sims on YouTube and yeah, The Sims. Garnett with the ball. Will Chamberlain with the ball. 2K made a golf game, if anyone knew that. Yeah, 2K also makes golf games. Probably Tiger Woods, something the game. 2K's made golf games well. Hello, everybody. Going to bed. Sure, I'll be on your live. Info Spot 401. Hello. Thank you for coming. Hey, what's up, man? Rebounder. Yo, thank you for coming. This for a long time I haven't played against Facebook friends, so since you're here, Rebounder, I'm playing against your team. I'm gonna autoplay it. I have Laker starting lineup. Full Laker player says Lakers today won and made it to the NBA Finals. I thought the Nuggets 2020 chip. Too bad for the Nuggets lost, but the Lakers won tonight. My opponent has Memphis Grizzlies jerseys. We're at Staples Center, but it's the Clippers court. And we have LA Laker jerseys. I think everybody kind of knows each other, but NBA gameplay. He makes great NBA Live mobile videos. And then DTW the Baller, he makes great NBA Live mobile videos. The Rebounder, he makes great NBA Live mobile videos. And Info Spot 411, he makes great videos about reviewing different products on Amazon and everything. And he makes a lot of videos talking about the news, anything on the news, politics, movies, anything that's happening in the news, and he does a lot of great live streams. So I think you guys already know, most of you guys know each other, but if you don't know, check out each other's channel and support each other. It'll be cool if the Celtics beat the Heat in 7. Sorry, I wasn't here. I was playing Among Us. No problem, Rebounder. Now the Celtics come back in Game 7 and force Game 7 and win. Yeah, I'll be okay with that. I don't really care if the Celtics or Heat win. I don't really care. But like the more competitive the series is, the better. The better it is for basketball fans, you know. Now for NBA Live Mobile, they should have a finals promo soon, right? And that might be the next promo, finals promo. But then October they will have a Halloween promo. I assume they'll have a Halloween promo, which means we'll have 2 Halloween promos in one season for season 4. Then November, there will be the NBA draft, and that's when LaMelo Ball comes into the game, and Anthony Edwards and Killian Hayes and stuff like that. So, will that be season 4 still? It could be season 4, or it could be season 5 at that time. We don't know if it's going to come out in November or December. But after that, they should have like a 3-month break, the NBA. They should have a 3-month break just because, you know, you don't want to tire out the players. You want to let them have like some kind of off season. Well, even missing a lot and then getting his own rebound. Anyways, that's what I think. So I don't know when. I don't assume that there's going to be a summer league. There might even be a summer league for LaMelo Ball and the players that are just drafted. Like maybe it could take place in Las Vegas or something like that. So would it be? I'm guessing it's 3 months. It could be more. So November, if that's a draft. October, November. The NBA could start in like December. It'd probably start in like January or something like that. I don't know. The Celtics and Heat are stacked. KBG, yo, thank you for coming. How are you doing today? Celtics and Heat are stacked. Lakers are just LeBron and AD. I don't think this season will end until next year. Finals, Heat versus Lakers probably. Yes, I also think it's the Lakers and Heat. They do have role players, but still, they don't have any other stars. Last year we had the last promo was the draft. November draft. First LaMelo, second Anthony Edwards. Back to the game. Now last year, when the draft happened in 2019, Zion Williamson and Ja Morant into the NBA. Immediately on the same day, EA released their cards. But it was for money spent players. So to get a Zion, you had to pay like $100. And so the first person to get him was Ultimate Buckeye. He spent spend the $100 to get him. So I expect something like that. I do expect that they will come. The LaMelo Ball will come around the draft time. Maybe on the same day when he gets drafted. His card will end up coming to the game. I suspect. I don't know if that's season 4, season 5 at this time. I don't think anybody knows. I do think of the Halloween promo, and then I think the Halloween promo will still be season 4. For some reason they start season 5 of NBA Live Mobile in November, like draft promo or something like that. Then they will also, after the draft, they'll have like a thing promo. And of course, because the end of November. And then Christmas, they will have. It'll take a long time. There'll be end of December. They'll have at least a 2-3. So that's what I suspect. Now, when it could start when the actual NBA season begins, the 2021 NBA season. So whatever that is, I don't know. It's usually lined up with kind of NBA season. Danny Green was actually going with Shaq, I think. Danny Green. James Wiseman is probably the best player in the draft class. Every team needs wants LaMelo Ball. Season 5 starting in December, NBA Live. And I wish God's plan. I feel good sometimes. Let's go down as God. Yeah, wait. God's. I think it stopped. So my live stream kind of stopped, so they come back. Yeah, it came back. I don't know why there was a pause there. Yeah, I saw it came back. So thank you for coming. Everybody's still here. Thank you for coming. There's 7 people here. If anybody's new, feel free to comment. I'll read your comments sometimes. Quentin Cook with the ball. Do. These basketball games, of course. 2K is also the same way. They make games every single. They make basketball games every single year. Whereas most games, they'll take maybe like 4 or 5 years to make a game. So they'll spend a lot more time on it and money and stuff like that. But basketball games and other games, they take 1 year. Every year they release one. So it does cost a lot of money to buy a basketball game every year. Like 2K. Like Madden and stuff like that. So anyways, the sports game, what I want to say, the sports game, they rely on having something new in the game, which is usually the newest players that are just drafted. That means LaMelo Ball, James Wiseman, Anthony Edwards, Killian Hayes, for the NBA. And the NFL is the same way. They're their newly drafted player. They create a player for them. That's how you kind of get people to buy your game and just to want to pay money for your game. That's kind of how sports games. Oh, grind live pass for a moment. No problem, NBA campaign, no problem. Well, Anthony Davis stay or walk? Well, Anthony Davis stay or walk? Right now, I think he'll stay. I think he'll stay. He'll probably get a max deal. I think he'll stay. He looks pretty happy, you know. If he walks, I don't know where he goes to. His agent is LeBron James' best friend. I forgot his name, like Rich Paul or something. So, I do think he'll. Now, the next season it'll be interesting to see if the Lakers will they win next season. So that'll be quite interesting. Can the Lakers win next season? Can they repeat as champions? Also, when does LeBron James' body decline? Because eventually he'll decline. Um, he is a person, you know, a human being. So he'll eventually decline. But that is, it's certainly not right now. He's 35 years old. He's going to eventually get old. But we don't know. We do not know when that is. Now, LeBron, I believe, has said to the media that he's waiting till his son, Bronny James, makes it to the NBA. And so he's not playing the NBA until then. Will LeBron end up kind of like Vince Carter coming off the bench for coming back NBA gameplay? So how well do you think Bronny James will play? Will he make it to the NBA? Bronny James. And I do think that he'll make it to the NBA, Bronny James, and I think he'll end up like a Luke Walton type of player, a role player. Or like a Steph Curry type of player. That's what I expect. Usually NBA players, if they're Hall of Famers like LeBron James, usually their sons do not do well in the NBA. If they even make it to the NBA. Most of their children actually do not make it to the NBA. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Hall of Famer, right? He has a son, and they never made it to the NBA. Magic Johnson has a son. He never made it to the NBA. He's not interested in basketball. Charles Barkley had a daughter. And also, I do not think she's interested in the WNBA. So there's a lot of children. Shaq, he had a son. Plays for UCLA right now, I believe. I actually think he transferred. He decided to go to a different university. But he had health problems, his son. So he had heart surgery. Thank you, InfoSwap 401. Where you say Bronny James, thank you, InfoSwap 401, for support. So you say Bronny James is going to be overhyped. Yeah, that's very much possible that he's going to be overhyped. We'll see how good he is. He's not shorter than his dad right now. He's 6 feet 2 inches. So I don't know. Being LeBron James' son, would that be easier to make it to the NBA or not? Or is that a lot of pressure? There's probably a lot of pressure on him as well, if he's not as good as his father. Now, Michael Jordan also had 2 sons, but they also could not make it to the NBA. One of his sons was a walk-on at the University of Illinois, which is basically the same state as Chicago Bulls. And he didn't play much. That's his oldest son. And then he has a younger son that played at Central Florida, but also did not make it to the NBA. And also both of his sons are shorter than Michael Jordan. So I don't know why. Sometimes their sons are just shorter than their fathers. So it does happen. It happens a lot in the NBA. I don't know why. Do you know you can quick sell some gold cards for 10K? Oh, I haven't been paying attention to the game. Is that because of the new trade set? I know that some silver cards you can actually some silver cards if you still have them. I've coin sell them for like not coin sell them, but Oh, okay. I thought you meant selling them in the auction. Yes, I do know that certain gold cards you can sell for 10K. Yes, you. There's certain gold cards like they have like a either like a plus point. Not all of them are different, but some of them have like some kind of like +3 boost or a +3 3-point shot or something like that. So yeah, there are those players, and if you get them, you should coin sell them for 10K. Because sometimes you put them in the auction house, it doesn't sell for 10K. It actually sells for like 8K, 9K, so you don't make profit. So sometimes you have to. It's better to coin sell them. So yeah, there are. I know one of them is like Alonzo Ball, and then there's other ones. There's a Joe Harris and all that. So there are those 10K coin sales. So usually if you do your like packs, like the sharpshooter pack, that event, or the lockdown pack, and you could get those players sometimes, or sometimes just open the pro pack, you still get him. So yeah, there are 10Ks. Now, if you have a silver card right now, you should sell in the auction house because I don't know why, because it's kind of rare or something like that. But like if you have a Bobo silver card or something like that, it does sell for a lot. I think it sells for in the auction house for 30K sometimes. That does happen. Now, the new trade sets, I think some players, if you have those tokens or whatever, it does. You sell in the auction house, you'll sell. And I've seen some 90s. They're still selling for like 23K. So if you have those 90s players, like 90 overall, their blue color card, you should sell them in the auction house. Okay, should I open the Bob pack? I don't buy the Bob pack, so I don't know. That's up to you. I don't buy those packs for 200 NBA cash. I actually don't know which pack you're talking about, but I would not. I actually would save my NBA cash. I would not spend the 200. Lakers related question: Kobe or Magic? Kobe Bryant or Magic Johnson? Um, that's a very tough question. I think because Kobe has scored a lot of points, I would probably take Kobe. And that's probably not the I don't know if that is the most people's answer, but I'd probably take Kobe because he scored more points. So he's better offensively than Magic Johnson. But personality wise, I'll take Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson has a much better personality. LeBron or Will, both on the Lakers. Kobe way better shooter and defender. Sure. LeBron or Will. So NBA gameplay is Kobe way better shooter and defender. LeBron or Will, both on the Lakers. LeBron or Will. Oh, that's tough too. It's hard for me to pick LeBron James, Will Chamberlain. I'd probably pick LeBron James. Just because, LeBron's seen as second greatest player in NBA history. But Will does also really great. Score 100 points, he played in a long time ago, so you don't usually put him in the GOAT conversation. Although he is, right? But I'll take LeBron. Jerry West or Elgin Baylor? Will, athletic freak. Alex Caruso, Will. Jerry West or Elgin Baylor? I'll take Jerry West. That's tough to say because I actually know more about Jerry West and Elgin Baylor. I believe they only won one championship together, and Elgin Baylor retired at the time. So technically, Elgin Baylor did not even win the championship, but they just gave it to him. Alex Caruso, Will Chamberlain, of course. Elgin Baylor, amazing player, already a rookie. Alex Caruso, obviously. Karachon hitting 1.02K subs. Thank you, NBA Gameplay. I appreciate the support. Thank you, NBA Gameplay. Jerry West in the 2000s or Kobe in the 1960s? Interesting question. It's hard to say, but you would assume that Kobe Bryant would dominate like the 1960s players. A lot of the players that were not as athletic. Now Jerry West, I kind of want to say that if he was in the 90s or something like that, 2000s, that he would be just an average player, but I think that's kind of unfair. Jerry West very intelligent, so he'll probably still be really good, but it's tough to say. Because basketball back then was just way different. Yeah, it's still buffering for me. I don't know if you can still hear me or not. I don't know, but I'm gonna go till my phone ends. But if you have to leave, thank you for coming. Unfortunately, it's still buffering. Yeah, it came back though. It came back. Nice that it came back. And you definitely make great points, NBA gameplay, that Kobe would probably be a small forward, as he's quite tall in the game back then, like the 50s and 60s, and Bill Russell. Um, he's probably one of the tallest players back then. 9. And that was the first season, the rookie season of Magic Johnson, Larry Bird. That's how much basketball has evolved over the years. And then college basketball. Okay, I think it's back. A lot of great point guards out there. He is better. I think he's better than Eric Bledsoe, though. I think he's better than. I think maybe you could say he's better than Goran Dragic. That's pretty much it. John Wall's injured a lot. You could say he's better than Jamal Murray's better than Mike Conley Jr. Yeah, it's just too many great point guards in the NBA. Chris Paul. Is he better than Chris Paul? Chris Paul is pretty good. So it's tough to say. Probably my list is number one, Damian Lillard, Stephen Curry, Jamal Murray. Russell Westbrook. Chris Paul, I'm back. Rebounder. Michael Jordan asked a great question. Is Jamal Murray a top 5 point guard in the NBA? No, no problem. So you say Damian Lillard number one, Curry number two, Jamal Murray number three, four, Westbrook, and five. The Lakers a small forward. Wait, hold on a second. I'm gonna autoplay this. LeBron, he is listed officially as the Lakers small forward, but he is basically their point guard. LeBron, he is listed officially as the Lakers small forward, but he's basically their point guard. Yeah, it's interesting how that is, right? Like, he could be listed as point guard, but not be considered a true point guard. Oh, let's look at the All Star game. Kyrie Irving, he didn't make the All Star game, right? This year, he didn't even make it. I think he was injured. Uh, Sometimes I like to look at the All Star game to see who the best point guard is. Yeah. Rebounder, no problem. Have a great day. Have a great day. I have 26% of my phone, so I'm going to continue playing. I only put Dame over Curry is because he's injured. I have no clue how he'll do. After injury, same with Kyrie. That's definitely a good point. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, if you do like for right now the list, have a great day, rebounder. If you do the list right now it will be Damian Lillard for sure. So if Curry's injured, Damian Lillard would probably be the best point guard. And the reason why I say Luca is because the point is he's officially listed as point guard, even though he's basically a shooting guard, right? Or small forward or something like that. So I think that's interesting. And James Harden, of course, he could switch. He could play point guard, and then he could play shooting guard. So yeah, it's always interesting. So NBA gameplay. If you're still here, what do you think about what do you about Ben Simmons? Where you rank Ben Simmons? And we're in the end zone, the football Super Bowl court. So I'm gonna continue playing. You just see Ben Simmons as a point guard, right? And this is all just opinions, because all NBA team, right? It was released the first team, and number one, basically the point guard is Luka Doncic, the shooting guard is James Harden, then Anthony Davis. This person actually played, so I'm gonna play him again. We're playing against Phoenix. Ben Simmons for official point guard, then probably 6 to 8 on the list. I'm just gonna list some of the point guards. So all first team, Luka Doncic is basically the point guard, and maybe you could count James Harden, but I'm just gonna count Luka Doncic. And then all NBA second team has 2 point guards: Damian Lillard, Chris Paul. So no Curry because he's injured and stuff like that. And number three, the all NBA team. The point guards are all NBA third team is Ben Simmons, Russell Westbrook. So technically, center is Nikola Jokic. And power forward, if it's Anthony Davis or Giannis, you'll pick Giannis. And then, so Giannis would be the power forward. Now, small forward, it would be LeBron James, of course. Shooting guard would be James Harden. And then point guard would probably be Luka. Now, top 5 point guards just based off all NBA team and also the NBA playoffs, I'll just say number one will probably be top point guard in the NBA. I'll say Luka Doncic. Number two would be Damian Lillard. Have injuries or anything like that. Because sometimes there's injuries like Curry, so I'm not counting Curry. But it'll be basically Damian Lillard number two, which means Chris Paul will be number three. But then you can say Jamal Murray is better because he's younger. So Jamal Murray could, based on playoffs, he would probably be number three. And Chris Paul would be number four. Right now I'm trying to log back into the game. Quite interesting. No matter what, it's kind of hard to choose. Oh, also, I forgot Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving, he didn't play in the bubble, but then he played in the regular season. He did have some injuries, but obviously he's very good as well. No, in their prime and at their best, I'll probably say Curry number one, number two, Kyrie Irving. Number three would probably be Damian Lillard, and then number four, Luka Doncic.